Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Apprentice, and here today we're going to be tackling my American red maple forest. Sorry about that. As you can see, it's greatly overgrown. We have to get in here, select shoots back, let light in. This is for our post-summer management. We'll talk a little bit about what's happening to these trees too, horticulturally, as we go through. But first I want to show you guys what we've been dealing with here in the States. It's been super hot. This week it's been super rainy and humid. The trees are still starting to elongate, and we're also going to talk about some pests that are getting on these trees. So I'll grab the camera, bring it in close, flip it around, and we'll get to it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out the whole playlist if you want to know how I got to this point. These are all 3-year seedlings. So it's crazy how much they've developed in such a short amount of time. So check out that playlist, and I encourage everyone to start their own. So without further ado though, I'm gonna grab the camera, flip it around, we'll get in. So one thing to start, before I even start to show you guys what we're rotating. So if you look here, you can see where the leaves have been eaten. And everything, you know, they're healthy. There's nothing on the underside. This is both the work of caterpillars and the work of some Japanese beetles that we've been dealing with here. They'll just chew through everything, so you got to really be careful and smart, and really pay attention to your trees. So this is what we're looking at. So this is the front of the tree. This is my tall one. We're gonna let elongate and get really thick down here, so we're not doing anything to it. But the rest, it's really dense, really thick. You know, we got some really big leaves that need cut back just to continue to manage the growth of these trees. Some wire to take off so it doesn't start cutting in, stuff like that. So we're back to the front. So this first tree, nothing's gonna happen to it. I want it to stay as tall and big as possible because I want this to be my primary tree. So when I'm looking at the overall profile, the first thing I want to do is remake this shape of this being the tallest, coming back to the shortest, and the tallest, the shortest, tallest, the shortest, while keeping asymmetry in mind. And then what we'll be working on after that is doing a lot of cutting to pairs and everything else. So the first thing I'm going to do though is go in, and on some of these trees I have some wire. So we're gonna take this wire off so we're not biting into the trunk. I've been keeping a really good eye on it, so it's not, but the branches at this point should have set. And if they haven't, we can always come back in after we trim and prune and reattach this wire if we need to. But I think we're gonna be a-okay by leaving it off. Oops, sorry about that, bumped the camera. The wire seems to be completely fine, and the trees seem to be completely fine. So yeah, I don't see any real wire, you know, nothing that won't come out in like the next couple weeks. So, you know, you can always see a little bit of wiring, but with deciduous, it's always you don't want it to cut in too much, because then you start to lose the beauty of the bark. And that's so you can see that biting again there. So let's pull it back and start to talk about this canopy and what it's doing. So obviously the strongest tree here, so we need to bring everything else conical. So I'm going to start by getting rid of these really tall shoots and just cutting back to a reasonable height at this point, so I can start to see my general shape of what I want, and not have to worry about the overall, you know, these long shoots won't ever become anything too helpful. So we're just going to cut these back. The inner nodes are really long, so the distance between here and here, and then here and here, so the difference between here and here, here and here, and then what we get up top, they just are longer as they start to grow. Here's another good example. So you can see it's very short down here, and then a longest, even longer, and then obviously towards the top, we will continue to get elongation. So I'll cut it there. And then these are technically back branches that need to be wired in a way that fits the silhouette. But I will be cutting these back too. So we'll be cutting it there and also come in and cut it there. Okay, our overall general profile of this tree. So our really strong front branch, and then our asymmetry. So this will be a lot sharper once we get done, and this will be our more full side. And then as we come towards the back, obviously it'll come down as well. So you might have noticed that this tree here and this tree here, fairly strong and still up in the front, but that is a-okay. We will be I'll remove this shoot just because I want to continue to build that ramification throughout this tree. But now we're going to be looking at, okay, so what does the branch structure look like? How many internodes and leaves do we have on some of these? So let me go ahead and start by coming back here. So as you can see, if we come to like this, we have a junction and then just a lot more coming off of it. So I'm going to take it back to here just to stop that elongation some more, and hopefully we can get some of that in a good spot. I don't really want more than 2 internodes right now on any of these trees. So if any of the trees have, you know, a lot of internodes or something like that, we're really going to look at cutting them back to a more manageable size, so that they can stop elongating and they can start to backbud and form nicer branches. And what we'll probably end up doing as winter and fall approaches, there's another one with wire, I missed it. As winter approaches and these lose their leaves, we will come and work on that taper and work on not necessarily the defoliation, but where the branches are actually sitting and looking their best, where buds selecting and stuff like that come into play too. So, you know, we don't want a ton of different trees just growing haphazardly in this forest. I want it to look clean, I want it to look nice, and I want it to look pretty decent. So we are going to cut out, again, continue to cut out these strong pieces that are growing new. I'll take off that piece there. And then what I'm also going to do, so we can continue to get light in, is come in. Let me find a good leaf here for you guys to show you. I cut that part. So what I don't want to do is just come across and cut it. So like I did that on this one, because some of it was eaten, but that's okay. But on these ones that aren't eaten, I want to kind of fold the leaf, come in at an angle, and then cut. And that kind of keeps that triangle shape, okay? And you can do this on any of the leaf sizes. And this, we will be doing this to the upper canopy, and that will be allowing more light to penetrate in and start to give it a nicer look inside of this tree, okay? So that's the next step, is just to go and take each leaf and partially defoliate, and just continue to do that through the whole tree, every leaf, so we can continue to get light into the inside, okay? So this will just be a montage of me doing that, but hopefully that makes sense. And there you guys have it. So as you saw, this tree is now, you're looking at the front again. So it's much more within proportion, within size. You can almost tell, I'll bring you guys in closer, but you can almost tell from just that distance, from when I started this video till now, that we've lost a lot of foliage, and it's, you know, there's a lot more light that's getting down into this mossy area down here. So I'll grab the camera though, show you a close-up of all the kind of nuanced things that I did in this, and I'll let you guys go. All right, so the first thing you will have noticed is this first tree, again, I didn't touch anything with. So it's the first side branch, and then this top apex has nothing done to it. So that is completely normal, because I want that to grow. And I also, on this one here, which was newly planted last year into this set, I also did not do anything because it's very small. It was late to leaf out. I'm just afraid that if I go and start cutting these in half, I'm already doing it a disservice. It's already starting to get shaded out by this upper stuff. But, you know, right now there's just, I need this one to get super healthy. So there's just not a lot more I'm going to do about it. But as you go around the tree, you can see to almost every other leaf, I have in some way, shape, or form perform this Makiri process and haft the leaves. So all throughout the tree. So you can see now though, there's a lot more, you know, light getting in there. It looks a lot cleaner. As we look towards the top, you can see I've got this back in shape, coming both ways just by trimming off some of that. And you can see all the leaves that have been cut. Some better than others, because some, like I said, they were being eaten. So I, you know, just cut off some of the dead parts, or cut around the dead parts that were eaten. So they're not all uniform. Like obviously, like some I just missed, but like I got the majority of it, so it was okay. Really, what I want to do for this tree here though is probably 5 years. Maybe get it in exhibition. I don't know if that'll be possible, being in Japan and all. But I mean, I think it's got something worthy here. I think, you know, the leaves are really big now, but last year I did a partial pruning and then full defoliation after it was done pushing growth. And then even that next one needed a partial defoliation as well. So honestly, this year I'm looking, you know, in 2 years, if I can continue to build this one and get it thicker, so it stands out a little more, I think I can have a fully exhibition ready set here by, you know, either the ramifications become really good, so that's really nice too. But, you know, so I could show this theoretically in winter when most deciduous things are shown. But I also think that just, you know, as a spring or summer show, I mean a fall or a summer show with some really small leaves could be really, really nice. So yeah, I'm really excited for what this forest can bring about. It's really fun to work on, and I always enjoy it. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. And if you really enjoyed it, donate to my GoFundMe. Thank you all so much.